I'm Frankie, we're a part of Nouns DAO.
I'm Will Wheeler, I'm the partner in Problem TV and a member of Nouns and Nouns Cares. We're really focused on bridging the gap between Web2 and Web3 and making practical uses of Web3 is really our main focus. So if they can improve someone's daily life, and you can execute a project better, you can bring another layer of it in terms of community or adoption, that's what we're focused on. It's awesome that if you have an idea at any time, there's an audience to hear that idea, there's a community to evaluate that with you, help you work through it. That's why we love doing what we do within the DAO, because we're all about sort of, if we can take you from A to B in terms of getting the idea together and formalized and presented, which is not an easy process to go through as a prop goes. Executing it is the second part, which is really fun, right? And sort of making it what you want to make it and keeping the spirit of Nouns at the same time. I like to say just Nouns are people, places, and things. It's one of the most storied DAOs in the space. It's come together and brought members all over the world to have the same ethos, have the same spirit, and a sense of community, but it's also about funding public goods and projects and everything ranging from physical goods, art projects, public goods, building schools, making documentaries, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's really the magic and the glue that makes the people, place, things come together.
Nouns is open-ended enough to where we can tackle serious issues, but we could also have a lot of fun, at the same time.
I think that IRL is so important for this space, and I think Nouns, with the spirit of the project and the people involved in the community, IRL is everything. We spoke today about public goods, and I think I said earlier that I think that public goods are the best case study for this technology and for the use case for this. And I love that the schools, the Wells Project, all those things are huge because they have real world impact, and they're not about necessarily maybe your public good, but it's a global public good. If it's good for that community that needs it, you should feel good about it. You should feel good about funding it, participating in it. And the fact that Nouns is attached to it visually is just incredible. Yeah. Because you can see it in an art project, you can see it in an album recording session, and you can see it, in a well.
We were talking about how we believe funding the commons actually aligns most with our practice, and especially even with your background. It's good to find kind of a defined home, of people who are really looking to break past what we've observed to be a very kind of tornado of ideas and energy. I think Funding the Commons really does a good job at dialing it in. I think the Funding the Commons brand and everything you guys are doing is absolutely incredible.
I think the branding and the spirit of it is really on point. I guess I'm biased, but I look at all the visual indicators and the way that it's represented, the language that's used, and I think that the environment in which it was and the fact that it's here in Tokyo at this time was great. And I felt like people, when we finished the panel, we had some really interesting conversations. Yeah. People had very good questions. They were very smart and informed. And I also liked that it wasn't hyper technical. I think that's really important. I think that you can go to 1,000,001 over your head, hyper technical crypto conferences and talks and summits. But I think, again, I always come back to, can you explain it to your grandma? Can you cross the chasm in a really simple way? And I thought that it was really cool that we got to just talk about that in particular today, is that we really focused on the public goods conversation, the practical applications of Web3 versus things that are sounding great in theory, but maybe we're 20, 30 years out from. Yeah. What can we do today? How can we impact people? How can people use this to sort of change their daily lives?
Find your people, that would be my message, and don't be afraid to ask for help, right? That's something that we always prioritize. If Will and I don't know something, we don't pretend to know. Yeah. And we are very proactive about finding the people who do know the things that we want to learn, and making lanes for them. Make lanes for the people in your life, but also don't be afraid to make new friends.
Yeah, do things in a positive way. Do things that aren't about you. And that's to me, that's the essence of building, right? Yeah. Is you're creating something that other people can use, and you're making a difference, and it's not just about your personal daily life, it's for everybody else. So, yeah.
You made me cry. Oh, jeez.
Why not?
Yeah. That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Keep building. Just keep building.
Yeah.